Grab your foot. Young queen.
Coming to them shit started running. Yeah, started running. You boys so sick, something that they can't stomach. Seven, 8, 9, I'ma run the whole summer. Watch shit 4, 5, 6. Tell me nothing. Granted, cause I know the day is coming, gotta sleep. Ain't change a nigga clothes, probably for a bottle. Always been a hundred, never ever had to cheat. The leader of a war pack, everybody eats. Only tell the truth, everybody yelling preach. You don't recognize real water hitting, you can keep. Reach body language, I ain't never gotta speak. And I'm sealed every time, no, I never had a leak. No. One of my was coming, told them shit started running.
Hey, yep.
You boys so sick, something that they can't stomach.
Shout out Juma Black.
And ever since a younger, no one couldn't tell me nothing.
No. Hey, I think it's time. I think it's time.
What is it time for?
It's champagne toast, baby. What's up, viewers? You told me it's time for the champagne toast.
If you're sipping with us, man, go ahead and put that emoji in there, man. We're going to have a champagne toast to welcome everybody to the night. Hey, y'all, you know we popping these bottles, so watch out for the cork, baby. Y'all know.
Hey! Hey! I was like, that's my shit. Hey! I was like, what's my shit? Over here. Shoot him. Get this on camera. Get this on camera. Get this on camera. Flag. Everybody fucking back. You got a flag. Don't shoot me. You got a flag. Just one out the room. Quit shooting that little shit. You don't bust up. Quit shooting that little shit. Champagne down there. Grab it, pour it up. Champagne toast to the viewers.
Quit shooting that little shit.
I got PTSD. Cheers to the viewers. Cheers to a good, great show.
Bring it in, man.
Hey, bring that in.
Shout out to the viewers at home.
Shout out to the viewers at home.
Hey, pinkies out.
Pinkies out. Salute. Thank you, viewers.
We got a good show tonight.
Uh-oh.
Waiting to get into this. That could be your bill. Sound like the phone bill right there. Hey, it's just a phone bill.
It's the fun bill.
Like the phone bill right there.
Cannabis, cocktails, conversations. We live, baby. We live. This is beautiful. This is love. This is real. I'm the guy, Fats Gordos. We are live on the set of Cannabis, Cocktails, Conversations. Man, I had a great week, man. Oh, the club opened back up. I get to move around a little more down in clubs. The clubs is calling and contracts is, shooting our ways. And, man, business is getting heavy. The grind is getting real. It's staying real. We keep hustling. So what? We keep hustling, baby. So what? Shout my guy Samurai Sam at home, man. Shout out Samurai Sam. Yeah, stubbed on his toes. He stubbed on his toes, man. Now he in class tonight, man. So you not see Samurai Sam, hey, yeah, he's still first in command, like he says, man. Shout out to my guy at home. What's up, baby?
Once again, shout out to Samurai Sam. This your guy, Big Money. Thank y'all for tuning in. Viewers, hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that bell button, subscribe, and we'll give y'all another good show.
Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Mel P, a.k.a. the Ninja. That Clint line's so good.
Hey!
Hey, got it painted on you.
Ooh, you know what I mean?
Whoever barber is, we could call out your barber shop. Just get out of this though. CannabisCocktailsConversations.com, man.
I'll see it, man. I'm starting to my guy.
Hey, well, man. It's your guy first, your first option, second to none. That's all I ever really say, man. We just ready to give y'all a good show. Come on, man. Come on in, man. Right now, it's your turn to introduce yourself, man.
Oh yeah, you got 2 days. It's your time to shine, baby. It's your time to shine. Drink this fine wine, baby.
Right here.
We up right here.
What's up? It's your boy, The Law. Namaste, man. Welcome to the show. Shout out to Spoiled Souls, man.
Hey, shout out to
Oh, yo.
Before
I would stay. Yeah, I think my next
Peace.
language.
I hear that.
before we bless our guests and let them introduce themselves, before we do that, we gonna shout out GMP. Podcast, baby. GMP, we all we got, baby. We all we got. GMP Podcast Group. Shout out to y'all, man. 100. They keep going with us. We keep going with y'all. We gonna grow. We gonna go. That's all we gonna do. Make a little more money. Have some fun traveling. That's it. Thorn City Syndicate. Hey! As I say, man, y'all know what I say about it. He moved like Morpheus. Y'all know who he is. Red pill and blue pill. What they gonna do, baby? You know? And of course, we got my guy, Also Fresh. Man. Shout out to Also Fresh, man. That's like, I'm gonna call him my coach, man.
Yeah,
I gotta
call him Big Brother.
I gotta dig my pocket a little more, you know.
You call him Big Brother.
I need to find a grant, man. Find a grant, so I can pay my podcast coach right there, man. So I gotta keep hustling, baby. That's what I gotta do. But of course, the guy JP Visuals right there. I got your front flips and back flips and all kind of shit. Snowboarding and everything. That's what he do, man.
He's on the pipe.
That work,
Man, for real. And the camera just roll. Oh man, that guy's amazing, man. I appreciate you, man. Salud.
I'm glad he lived to see another day. He's here with us. He on that pipe, boy.
Hey,
I'll catch you here.
Of course, we're on lovely LL. Still love Lady Lauren, man. She's the beast. She's a monster. She's a queen. She's everything over here, man. We appreciate you a lot. Keep hustling with us. So what? Keep hustling. So what? And of course, we want to shout out the hottest Latin bar in downtown Portland, Suavecito! Suavecito on 217 Northwest 2nd Avenue. So, Poppy! Now, let me, before I go to y'all again, my bad. Tell them who you is, how you want to do it. However you want to do it, what you want to say. The camera right there, baby. What you want to say to the viewers?
I'm Ronzo the Don, man. You feel me? I'm just glad to be here another time. You feel me? Bless me with some good knowledge, what's going on. And thank you guys for having me and showing my face up on the camera. I've always liked that. So, I'm just here to soak up some knowledge, man.
Give my lighter, too.
I need that.
Hey, other right there. Don't take the other one.
I got
you. Man. And he said, he said, this work be 6 months. Heavy, man. We got a guy, Zach, in the back. Zach, hey! Shout out to our guy, Zach, man. Zach is like, he the new silent, what are you going to call it? We got a name for him. Yeah, we'll find a name for Zach next time. Who's that? Shout out to Be Smooth, man. Shout out to my uncle in the back, man. Shout out to Joe as well.
What's up, Joe?
What's up, baby? How you doing?
Uh-oh.
Tell them who you is when you came.
Who you is?
Yeah, man. It's Captain Ogun, Regional Minister of Defense for the Black Rider Liberation Party, New Generation Black Panther Party.
Yes, me.
Blessings.
Strong. I was like, that
One take, one
more.
You
gotta follow that up.
Yeah. She looking like, man, don't play with me. Don't play with me.
You know who I am?
She probably get out something. So who you is then?
I'm Sergeant Yemiya with the Black Riders Liberation Party, New Generation Black Panther, as well as the spokeswoman for our chapter.
Salud.
Smooth, right?
Salud.
Welcome.
Hey, I like that.
How many years deep?
Okay. I got to teach me that later.
You gotta be ranking 5 for that.
Wow. Women don't rank around here. Ain't no misogyny around this joint, man.
I don't blame that wrong with that. I don't blame you. How many years in? 4 years? Then was I say? You said that we are. You know what's up. You know the love in the room. You know the love in the room. That was I say. You know. I just love hearing this.
And that sound good. Say it again for the people in the back.
That was I say. You know. Hey. Man, you never know what goes on in Cannabis Cocktails Conversations.
Okay.
We have fun. We wide conversations. Thank y'all for coming.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all for coming.
Absolutely.
Once again, this is the Cannabis Cocktails Conversations. What y'all think about guns, man? What's y'all take on guns, man? Should y'all have guns? Should y'all not have guns?
We want right into the lines.
Well,
Right to the wolves.
I stay with guns. So anybody that know me, I'm definitely an advocate for community-led protection, which my comrade will talk about. And I also definitely believe that, you know, the natural law of the land is that you get to protect yourself by all means. We have to understand as well how we got guns. You know what I mean? Guns were not formed by our people. They were given to our people to put our people into slavery. You know what I mean? It became a tool, not for hunting, but for capturing people. You know what I mean? So with that being said, like, I understand that in America, you know what I mean, the same kind of tools that the enemy and the oppressor use on you, you have the right to use back. They just kind of tricked us into believing that we don't have the right to protect ourselves. Okay. Same thing would be seen in the Capitol with Trump and the people storming the Capitol. Them laws, Trump not even impeached. But what happened when the Black Panther Party ran up on the Capitol? There was no laws invented to where you couldn't open carry.
I guess so. I guess so. We did do it. They did. I guess.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it became a problem when Black people. And anybody know about the acts that was put into place as far as gun control? We get into that a little bit later. Gun control was built off of making sure Blacks did not have guns. So I'm definitely an advocate of believing if my enemy got them, I'm going to have them.
And now you are a firearms trainer or an instructor?
I'm not an instructor. I wouldn't say that I'm certified. I'm self-taught. I have trained with you know, people who was in the military, you know, ex-vets, from snipers all the way up to infantrymen. I think the last guy was called a Riki rifle. He did a sniper. He's a Navy SEAL sniper, and he trained us. So you know what I mean. So we get training from legit people that was in the service and stuff. You know what I mean.
How'd y'all get into all this?
I got into this. Honestly, I got into this because I had a federal raid. And when I start picking up the idea of like getting into more combative drills, like learning drills, like what's a Mozambique drill. Everybody know that's kind of like 2 to the body, 1 to the head. Everybody know about double taps. It just has names for them. When I start getting into the drills of them and learning the dynamics and the fundamentals, like it's a science. Everybody know my background. I came from a dance world, so I definitely believe in you know what I mean? You know, that was something I was really, really good at. And it took coordination, it took some planning, it took preparation, and it took practice. One thing that we said in the dance world is practice how you're going to perform. How can that apply to firearms? If real world scenarios is going to happen, you need to practice in a real world scenario situation. You know what I mean? And being that the height of what society was pushing today, now you don't see protests with signs no more. It went to guns that quick. You know what I mean? I remember when it started in Portland, it was picket signs and throwing in Portland, they throwing fireworks and everything else.
Little booms and
all that stuff. I was in the middle of it. You know what I mean? I seen it. Now you go across that bridge, it was nothing but guns. Nothing but guns. And everything after that, I'm walking around and I'm just seeing young people with guns. So again, it was a federal raid for me that you know, the feds came after me for felon in possession of firearms. I can break that down. I had a felony, but I wasn't a felon. So they ended up having to give everything back. And I had to fight that case myself. And we know the feds got a 98% conviction rate.
Yeah.
Mostly with pleas. You know what I mean? But I studied the Oregon revised statutes. I studied the federal law. And it comes to find out with my point system, it being that I had a felony when I was like 18 and haven't been in trouble since, I wasn't considered a felon. So they had to give me my guns back, bullets back, clothes, laptops, phones, and everything else. So I couldn't sue them because they told me it was like a trick. They said if it was political, I talked to an attorney. If it was political and I could prove that it was political, then I would have a problem. When they left out my house, they gave me receipts for everything they took. They said, please don't go to the media because we got to say why we came. Now that kind of struck me out. Like, now if you was going to bury me, no, I didn't go to the media because I didn't know what I was dealing with. You know what I mean? I was still kind of ignorant to it. I had to go through it. And I always tell my kids that I go through it so you don't have to. But when they when they told me that, it did kind of strike me kind of odd. And then there is a statute of limitation of time when you can go to the media. I didn't even know what I was going to go to them and tell them. I thought I was watched, honestly. It was like, I'm going to have to go sit down or whatever they're going to give me. You know what I mean? But it come to find out, if it's not political, if it's political, then they can get you. You know what I mean? You can sue them.
I think anything you can sue them. Political or not political.
Man, they got an abundance of money, man. You have to
Sure
go against
do.
the whole beast.
They never know ain't long enough. They gonna stretch
It's
it out.
wrong in everything.
They stretch it out. I don't see
It's
federal
already
cases that I sat
it's
through
a
and it's like, it was just it's a long process. But
That's the process that folks believe in. You got, hey, what you gonna do?
it's like I said,
you
you got to play their game.
Yeah.
You
can't follow their process through the money. It's a million ways around it. You gotta find
Yeah,
out.
that's where a lot of
You
people
gotta find
fall
out.
off. Though. They don't want to. They don't want to continue on that process. They don't
Yeah,
wanna do
it's
that.
they address. They
It's
got
too much
abundance of money.
work. Once
Too
they
much
find out they
work.
got all the shit they got to do.
Everything.
That's where it fall off.
See, everything that says to you can do. Yeah, you can watch them. You can take pictures of them.
Oh, yeah.
You can have
I
conversations.
said it
You can do all. You can do all of this.
But you gotta also have
You can do all of it.
but you gotta also have a card to where you gotta know what's your limitations, how far you can go.
Yeah, there are
They can get you from
boundaries.
stocking. You know, there's certain
So
things
can
that
you.
but
You can put restraining order on fans and everything.
You are right. You are right.
Yeah.
But do you have the legwork and the bandwidth to take that on from the
They gonna
time
tell
that
you.
happens?
You gotta have heart.
till you tell you that it ain't about heart.
You gotta have a heart.
You gotta heart.
You gotta have
You gotta have
heart.
You
Do you have the
gotta have
bandwidth?
smart.
You gotta have heart. You're allowed to say Cannabis Cocktails Conversations, baby. We just get warm. Woo! We get warm. We just get warm, man.
We
How you
seen
doing?
this before. This was a couple weeks ago.
How you feeling first? You good, baby?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man.
Just
I'm
checking, man.
I'm getting into this conversation.
You
It's
don't
sounding
know.
good,
I'm just checking. We'll still thinking about them guns later on, I'm trying to see what rounds look out. That's my guy feeling, man. Thanks for coming out, man. Last minute phone call, man. Really came right away. I appreciate you,
You know
man.
what's going on. I
appreciate
soaking
your
up some
side.
knowledge right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so with the touching on your topic, you said so you went through a raid, you experienced a raid, and so that's what kind of like shifted your mindset to say, hey, I want to learn tactical stuff, so it won't happen again, type of thing, or next time it'll be different. You know what I'm saying? Like with that experience, I mean, I can understand how you feel, like how somebody feel comfortable with them being able to kick in your door over information they feel they got on you, but then vice versa, it's wrong if I do it, it's a crime. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand that making you snap and want to say, hey, we do gotta like look at things from a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I just want to know if that was the main thing that made you go into the whole tactical.
Yeah, that was actually the main push. You know what I mean? Like my brother was talking about earlier, like why would you get a license and so forth. For me, when that happened, that was a pivotal point for me to say, fuck y'all. I'm gonna make sure everything that y'all told me that I did not and you did not want me to have, I'm gonna get it 10 times over.
Right.
So now I'm gonna create a business that's revolving around firearms. Now I'm gonna go get certified in everything in firearms. Now I'm gonna go get a concealed weapons permit on you. I don't even really want it, like you said. There's some catch-22s with that, but now I'm gonna get that because you didn't want me to have it.
Right.
So any certification for as instructor and everything else, and he was in some stuff about the NRA. Like I'm gonna make sure now you're gonna have to fight an army to come back after me if you want me for political reasons.
See, like me personally, I just think when you get these licenses and things, you cut away your natural rights to certain things. You're saying while you get a gun license, you got a driver license, you're saying you're gonna do it how this book say do it. When you don't need that book, you don't need a driver license to drive. You can still drive. But I think that means you will abide by these rules. You abide by this, you abide by that. That's why when folks that don't have these concealed weapons permits, but they have these firearms, they stand on their First Amendment.
But you also, that goes more into education, which is always the key. It's not just about heart. Because what you said about having firearms and being able to have that. But you have to know what it is that you can have with a firearm, what you can't.
Yeah.
You have to know that you can have a firearm, but you can't have a clip and one in the chamber. That's intent. Like you said with driver's license, you got to know the laws and the terminology around that.
Do cops keep one in the chamber?
Do
cops keep one in the chamber?
Yeah, but they have a lot. But they have a protective over their job right.
Why they're human? Why?
It's not about human. It's not about humans.
It's a job.
Humans
They get
protect
listen.
over
It's a
their
job.
rights.
Listen. Like a high school teacher is a high school teacher. A police officer, police officer.
Absolutely.
It's a job.
So
they can find one.
But in the right to
police
being a police officer, you are allowed to keep one in the chamber. It's like the military. The military, in the military is stricter than the police. The military can keep one in the chamber. In the military, if you pull your firearm out and it comes off your holster and out of that,
You have to use it.
and it don't discharge, guess what? Thank you for whatever amount of time you gave me.
Yeah,
Your services are no longer
I
in.
know.
And you lose all
All your
you
credentials.
lose all your credentials and everything.
All your
And you are now a
all that.
civilian,
Yeah.
and you will never get to pull that gun out again
You're right.
because there's boundaries to
You
certain
can't
things
leave
that you wanna
holster.
do.
You can't leave holster without this.
But when you talk about your driver's license, it's also wordplay with that too. You can drive without a driver's license, but you can't tell them
you
you
can
drive.
travel. You travel.
I'm a traveling man.
Traveling.
Because you can't give a traveling man where you going.
Can't
But
say that.
how many people don't know that law?
Right.
A lot of police officers don't know that. All they study is the code that they were given to follow by.
They don't
And
know a lot
so
of
if
gun
you
laws
don't know the other code to combat that, you have to jump through all the hoops, and in the end, you're going to be proven
Right.
right.
What makes them any different than just regular
It
normal
did,
everyday people?
the only thing that makes them different is that they swore by a law in the Bible thing that was given by the government of the states to say that you believe in this, so you're going to follow.
All right, hold on,
That's
hold
why
on,
people
hold on,
need
hold
to-
on, hold on. Shift gears real fast. I do not want to drown out the madam in the room.
We sure don't.
I do not want to drown her out.
Never, it's a woman's world.
I want to hear your voice in here. I want you to speak to us.
Talk
What
to
you want
us.
Say thank you for coming. Thank
Well,
you.
one thing I just want to say is you got to remember police derive from slave catchers.
It is.
So, I mean, when you dig deep in the history of why we have the laws we have and why we have the positions and the people in power that we have, it all boils back down to the very beginning in the history, And so with that, with speaking to Captain Ogun's, federal breach, that was a breach of security for our chapter. Like, we took that very, very seriously. And I myself, I'm not allowed to be around firearms, but it doesn't stop me personally because I'm a writer. So before anything else, I'm going to protect myself and my comrades. So the raid was a breach of security for our entire chapter. So we take firearm trainings very, very seriously. We don't play.
How do you feel?
It's a thing.
How do you feel not to be allowed around firearms? How do you feel about that?
I don't care about the laws. Those laws don't govern me. My codes of conduct govern me.
You're live instead of Cannabis Cocktails Conversations.
Woo-hoo.
That metal was hot.
Conduct player.
Ooh, she's hot. Ooh. Ready.
I don't even smoking. I might need to do. Woo, that was kind of steamy.
It's time to wild on that.
Our phone done burn it down.
Shout out to KG Call, man, for this song, My City, baby.
Soon as the night can't be caught by the
Our
sun.
phone done burn it down.
Marathon Tactical, right? That's what we on with, baby. Shout out to
Pulled on one. You pulled on one. I know where I was at for this one. Woo!
All right, y'all. We just fired the set, man. If y'all at home, y'all smoking with us, drop that tree emoji, man. Let us know y'all blazing with us, man. We back into this show. Man, fast. This is.
I got you now.
Ooh, this is getting thick, man.
It's getting thick. It's getting thick. I
What
gotta
we
shout
got
out my
now?
folks. Juju, 15. Down at Suavecito. Connect with your brother. We have a great connection on the way. Come along for Cannabis Cocktails Conversations. Thank you in advance. So let me keep digging a little bit. I want to. So the Black Writers Liberation Party, New Generation, Black Panther Party for self-defense, right? Y'all create your own laws. And sorry about that. My bad. Y'all create your own laws, and do they abide by a different law? Do they abide by? I mean, are your own laws, and do they abide by the laws of America?
I got that. So we don't make our own laws per se. So we have like a whole central committee that governs our chapter and other chapters. So it's not necessarily that we create our own laws. It's like we have rules of discipline and codes of conduct that should be leading your thought, your action, what you put forth and what you don't put forth. When it comes to our chapter, though, like, our chapter is kind of a different chapter just simply because of the city that we're in. So, like, I, as a sergeant, will say, we're going somewhere and it's disrespectful for us to not accept a drink if they offer us a drink. So, as a sergeant, I will say 1 drink max. You can't have more than that because we're on duty. So, we have to be, on our toes, on our P's and Q's at all times, regardless of where we are. So that's just like a very minimal example of like how we do our rules and our laws, but we don't create our own laws. Like there's already stuff in place. The original Black Panther Party put everything in place. We're just extending it and moving it forward.
What
So-
you guys?
So is there a point in time that you guys want to create your own laws?
I don't know if it's so much that we want to create our own laws as we want to have our own everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as Black people, period, we have to get some shared understanding and language before we can get to talking about making our own laws. We first have to figure out how we're going to get to a point where we can make our own laws, and where would we even be having these laws at?
Right.
Okay.
Like, are we going to have our own? Do we want to have our own country within a country? Like, what is it? Like, how are we as Black people going to come together before we can start talking about making our own laws? We first have to talk about shared understanding and language amongst ourselves to get to the point of making laws, having our own things, having our own whatever it is that we decide as a mass people.
I kind of agree and disagree. I think we have to just go after it and then let's spread it around. We gotta start small. We gotta start somewhere. We can try to wait to get everybody together and it keeps whatever keeps happening, or we can try to start small, keep on spreading. But it's like one band, one sound.
Yeah, okay, but so Tesla, Oklahoma, what did they not have?
Okay.
What is the one thing that Tesla, Oklahoma did not have that caused their demise?
The army. They didn't have army.
They didn't have security, but what else? They didn't have a lot of things that prevented them from being able to secure themselves. Security
A lot of
is
vulnerability, though. It was vulnerable because I agree with you because it does start with us having to like have that language, like you said.
Yes,
We have
I
to
agree-
have a
I agree with
language
that, yes.
because I mean we can't set laws and nothing that we don't own. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start owning stuff. And it's deep. Man. This is a conversation that can go all night right here, man. That's what I like.
The reason why we create these code of disagreements with my family right now that I ain't even talking to. You know what I mean? It gets to a point to where like you dead to the type of shit. With our comrade and our cadre, we got 3 days. You can't settle past your quarrels in 3 days. You take it up to somebody that's a higher rank, which is shout out to Oya. You know what I mean? We got a grievance officer. You know what I'm saying? So we are now creating this army, creating this platform to where now, like you said, we are starting small. That's the start small. This is how me and you should be dealing with each other every day. If you can't take it to, you can't figure it out, take it to him. He can't figure it out, we're going to take it up to the top. You know what I mean? And we're going to basically mediate ourselves. Family don't even move in that way anymore. So we can't even really talk about what we're going to do on a grander scale if me and you can't sit down as 2 men, as family, as brothers, and try to situate our stuff out. If it's too bad we can't situate out, then yeah, we should be taking it to the elder, right? But look at elders today. How many elders are stepping up to say, listen, young blood, this is what we need to be doing. Listen, young cuz, this is what we need to be doing. We even got OGs who can't even control some of their homies in their hood.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to start with the rules and regulations of how we govern
Some of
ourselves.
those G's are younger than these.
21, tell me I'm a big homie. How you a big homie? I don't. What you do?
But it sounds like the only thing y'all doing is just let me clear this up. Cause what it sounds like what they doing, none of it sound like no hate crime or hate group, none of that. What it sound like is a people that's trying to organize themselves, you know what I'm saying, for a higher purpose and just enjoy their life with the freedom and live by their freedom as they say we have here in America. You know what I'm saying? Our opinions matter, the way we see life matter. So it just looks like y'all just creating a nice organization. You know what I'm saying? That's like I say, it's all about expanding and exploring life, though. You know what I'm saying? Together, wholly. Because I mean, it feels good if I can go help Oklahoma. We could have prevented that. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
could have said, hey, Oregon.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like on some like not no, it's not a hate thing. We protecting against anybody. It could have been anybody.
Could be anybody. Foreign, all
That's
enemies,
a
foreign
foreign
enemies.
Yeah.
So,
It was
so
greed. It was greed. A lot of it was greed. They didn't like the fact that another entity inside of an entity was moving without its help. So it goes back to
Absolutely.
all of it ties into each other. When it go back to you and the driver's license, when it goes back to having a gun permit, when it goes back to having your rights and having stuff, like you don't have to pay taxes. There's no law saying you got to pay taxes. But the only reason why you have to pay taxes is because you want something from the government, which is what the one thing you need from a government or you want from a government that helps bring wealth, a home. So if you want a home, guess what they want you to do? They want you to prove where your money comes from, and they want to filter what's going on. So when you look at a country that was surviving itself and thriving itself inside of it, something else, who had control over that? Okay, if the white man don't have control over that, then there's a problem. So if you go back to the rules of what you were talking about, governing each other, we can't be able to communicate. Then we're supposed to go to somebody else higher. Then you had your grandparents that when you went to your grandma's house, she found out you and so ain't talked in a few months. Well, what the hell y'all doing? Your family, right? Was whatever y'all was going through worth you not being
They're
with
gonna
your
make y'all
people?
talk it out.
They're gonna make you talk it out, and you agree to disagree, but you still become family. You find a common ground to move. Well, they took that common ground from us because they took us to capture us.
Who do you go to about your mama? What if your mama doing you wrong? Who do you go to?
Who do you go to? You're supposed to go to your grandma.
Some people feel that you're supposed to go
You're
to your
supposed to
grandma.
go to your grandma.
Yeah, right? So it should be. We don't even look at it the things on the simplicity level of like that. We talking about brothers, sisters, cousins, and stuff like everything else. But what happens when you feel like, sometimes we feel like I can't talk to you, so I can't tell my mom about what she told me. That's
You know,
my mom.
a lot of mom and daughter relationships are broken anyway.
Period.
And
That
so
part.
I mean, you really, if that relationship is broken,
That part.
But why is it that broken? It's the same thing with a lot of fathers and sons.
It is a lot of.
You know what break
it is.
that? You know what break that? That whole slavery mentality of we gotta break this.
This whole slavery,
Generational curse.
this whole slavery, curses, slavery mentality, this the whole, it's the way all the lies we lied to. You're alive instead of Cannabis Cocktails Conversations. What's up, Jay? How you feeling, baby?
I'm feeling good, man.
Uh-oh.
I'm feeling good, man. The vibe is good, man. The conversation is flowing, man. So I think, man, right now, man, we should just go in the air, man.
We in the air.
man. Is
What's up, viewers?
Ooh, you see the look on her face. She was like,
viewers.
we in the air.
We give it to y'all raw and uncut. We tap in with the viewers, let y'all get in on the show. You know, ask whatever questions. We have this wonderful queen here. Whatever questions y'all want to shoot at them. We're giving it to y'all raw and uncut. We talk about any and everything.
Everything
Man,
on top.
we are in the air. Brought to you tonight by Cannabis Cocktails Conversations.
Can I start this one off?
Go ahead
I'll
first.
start it off.
Go ahead first.
I just want y'all to get a chance. We came to talk about y'all tonight, so can y'all please tell the viewers where they can find y'all, in case people want to get in contact with y'all, or do y'all do a public? Okay.
You can find me on Instagram. I'm PrettyPanther_1.
You can find me on Instagram and multiple things, but we're gonna leave some of them out. We gonna talk. Hands on the no. Keep your hands on the
That man is funny,
But you can find me on Marathon_tactical. I do anything from firearms training to, like I said, most of the stuff is going to be about getting our people better prepared with law, understanding stuff like you talked about the gun permit versus open carry. Yeah, they are not. We have to know what laws is versus policies as well. You know what I'm saying? This is an open carry state, but Monoma County policies is a nuance to say if you are going to open carry, you don't have a permit. The magazine cannot be, when you don't call them clips, the magazine cannot be in the gun, it cannot be regularly accessible.
But do policies supersede state laws?
Federal always supersede. The policies won't supersede state laws. No. They won't supersede state law. No. So they would end up having to throw it out if you are in a certain small window of protection. You know what I mean? So if the policy is I got the magazine in my magazine, oh no, I don't even have it in. Don't have it in. But one of the nuances is you can't even have bullets inside of the magazine. Like it should be totally broken apart.
Away from each other.
Away from each other.
So
They
they
don't
have
have
to
to
put them in.
put them in.
and
Like my
then
little brother
push
went
up
through
the
a case
feet
like
in.
that and he beat it, but we had to ask the question, like, what does it mean regularly accessible? We don't understand what that means. You know what I mean? Regularly accessible means you cannot really have access to the ammunition to put inside this firearm. But if you have a license, you can walk around with it, magazine in it, one in the chamber, and ready to go.
Man, well, see, correct. Come on, but you gotta learn a chapter, correct?
Mm-hmm.
A party, like a party. A party can define their own rules, so their own laws. So my thing is like, once you say you're a party, you can have your own laws within some own laws, within American laws. You have to do, like I said, it's going to. If you say, "Here's my license, here's this," I don't want nothing to do with you guys. This is who I am now. They have to honor that, as well as they honor same-sex
Yeah,
marriage.
but you gotta understand that we a threat to everything.
Yeah, we've always
It
been.
ain't just-
Regardless of being threat, regardless of being threat,
But it ain't just us though. You gotta
regardless
also,
of being threat.
So
Once you have enough people,
but you
That's
gotta
what it is.
also,
Shit,
but
they
you gotta
got
also
license
put
shit.
things in effect because you're trying to help think for those who can't think for themselves.
Mhm.
And then you gotta also look at Jonestown. You gotta look at all these cults and all these other things that
but you,
took over different things. So, that's why they're trying to put policies and put certain things into play. But my man got a lot going on, man. He also
you're not helping them think though. By just tell them the actual laws.
No,
It's not helping them think.
words don't teach, actions teach, and that's the thing about it.
Actions
That
teach.
words don't
Agreed.
teach, actions teach. Shout out to Oshun. With that being said, is
Shout
that
out to those show, baby.
I would have to teach, like you said, teach the people who can't think for themselves. A lot of our people are not critical thinkers. Critical thinkers mean I'm going to question the things that I don't know because I just don't know,
Right.
but I'm also going to question the things that you do know. Because you tell me it's sunny outside, I'm going to have to go outside and go look. I'm not taking your word. I'm going to put that into action. You know what I'm saying? So if I have to teach the masses of people who can't think for themselves, I have to teach you which is the correct way to do things without getting in trouble. From there, once you can stand on that platform, I can tell you Oregon Revised Statute 166.270 says I'm not a felon in possession of a firearm if it's over 15 years or more, not a person-to-person crime, and haven't been convicted of anything else. I have a felony, but I'm not a felon. That I can stand on now. You know what I mean? So now that you have the knowledge base, you can now stand on it and say, well, I'm going to go do it. So I walk around everywhere. I don't have my license yet, but I walk around everywhere with it fully ready to go.
Right.
You can.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And when I come across that police officer or whoever want to ask me questions about it, you now have to prove that I committed a crime because you can't just stop me. This is not a no Terry stop state. No Terry versus Ohio means that in New York, this is a stop and frisk state. This is not a stop and frisk state. So I can walk down the street with it on me, with a magazine in it, until you say I committed a crime. You can't even ask me about it.
Exactly.
Right.
So now I can
That's
teach you the
what
wrong
folks
way
don't
to do it.
Right.
He can stop because he really can pull you and be like, hey, you don't have a license. It's loaded and everything else. But you gotta say I'm committed a crime before you even question me about it. So I can
Question
teach
for
you
the
wrong way.
viewers.
So to our queen, to our queen. One of the things is, do you have a chapter or training for young women?
So within Portland, we do consider ourselves the Lady Riders. And you can be funneled through the Melanated Sisterhood of Portland. So, I mean, like, if they want to contact me and ask me some questions, definitely. But we are live and on air, so I'm not going to just be like, all that.
Gotcha.
What's you guys' process like? If somebody wanted to join the ride, like they're like,
Gotta get
a
beat up.
blessing you gotta.
He taking it back.
To the backyard, baby. Course on.
Prayer, certain blessing. You gotta do a certain, training. And
That's
what's
a
you guys?
lot.
It's a lot.
So right now, I
Top
think
five.
recruits, we're pulling them through like a chat right now and just seeing who's active, who's not active, who's seeking information, who's not seeking information. It takes a while before you actually are gonna get into actually being a part of the cadre because we have to go through a level of security checks, checking your mental, your spiritual, all of those things.
And we will put your
Matter.
papers on long. In the system.
If
Can't
you're
fake it.
trying to join
You can't fake
any
it, yeah.
fraction of any VRLP or any New Black Panther Party or any Panther Cubs or any of the fractions under the original Black Panther Party, you are going to go through a background check, period.
Then
It
you can
doesn't
start
matter.
doing those. I'm glad they do.
They
Do you guys do your own? You guys pull your own background checks?
That's good.
Yeah. They got to pay
And we pull
dues. You're
street
recruit,
cred,
you're gonna
all
pay
that.
dues, and your dues are gonna go towards
Ooh,
your.
she said we pull street cred too.
So I heard you earlier, Captain.
Yes, sir.
You said you own multiple guns, a lot of guns.
Mhm.
Why not just a few guns? Why multiple guns?
Because I'm gonna pass you one.
Hey, already got some.
That part.
Somebody else.
Now, you know, I'm an enthusiast, so I like the way the mechanisms work, and like I like to know how they broke down, and I just like them. I like to feel how I can build one, or how one shoot versus the other, one trigger versus the other. You know what I mean? So, like I said, we all come from a background of like being supposed to be around them, and when you start picking them up and you start understanding them and respecting them a lot more, then you're gonna go into like it's like one tattoo. I couldn't stop at one.
And it's the most preventative measure, man. Studies show that most folks that learn about the guns that have them is less likely to commit crimes. They're less likely to shoot people. They're less likely to go out there and do stuff. They tell you that in the class training when you go there. They give you the statistics and the numbers.
My kids break down AR-15s. I leave them out. I don't put none of mine. I got a safe, but I don't put really a lot of them in the safe. I'm a believer that every 6 feet you should have a pistol and have access to a pistol or some kind of firearm.
That's dope. I told you,
Every 6 feet.
anywhere you go, if you got land, your house, anywhere you go,
Every
there
6
should be a
feet.
weapon.
Home invasions are real. Like I said, I'm on that. I got a webinar. My second webinar is a guy who actually went through a home invasion and he shot the home invaders.
Right.
What is that process like as a black man? Because a lot of us don't think about past what happened if we really have to use it. You still got to deal with civil cases.
Right.
You might have been justified killing in your house, totally justified. But now that family can come after you for wrongful death. You know what I'm saying? Or how was the police officer treating you in your home and you shot and killed this dude?
Okay.
Did they make you feel like, did you do something? I mean, that dude, Boffin Jean, that woman, Amber Guyver, she ran up into the wrong apartment, killed him. What'd they do? He had some weed.
He had some weed. He turned that killing to some weed.
Think they
Tell
gonna
them about your business about home sweeping and teaching folks how to clear their house and home invasions.
Yeah, with Marathon Tactical, like the first webinar is full now. It's March 28th, but it's a seven prong webinar. It teaches you Oregon law, with the stuff we just talked about. It also teaches you how to create a family safety plan inside your house. Whereas a fatal funnel, if it's a hallway, they can only get to you one way. So don't be Rambo. You know what I mean? Don't be Rambo. Like I'm just gonna clack. A lot of people think what's the theory? Hear that shotgun is gonna be like, yeah, people gonna back up. But what happens if you got all kind of preventative measures? Somebody broke into a window, they already inside your house making a sandwich. They probably don't care about that sound. They probably don't care about that sound. But that's what we've been trained to believe that that's cool. Or somebody inside your house, you can shoot them. No, you can't. They just laying on the couch. You can't just shoot them. You know what I mean? So you have to know that. So we go through training that I go to somebody's house and it's called either one day, first day, you learn your strong points, your weak points, your windows, how somebody can break into a house. Second part is we're going to do a force on force training. We bring some airsoft guns in between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. You don't know when we coming in. It's a couple of us. We let the neighbors know. A couple of us coming inside your house with some BB guns, and you got to be able to take out the threat.
You're alive with such Cannabis Cocktails Conversation. We in the air, baby. We in the air, baby. We in the air.
Who tapping in with
Kind
the
of
viewers?
good.
What y'all think about guns, viewers? Let me know y'all take on them guns. Y'all got some? I know y'all got some.
Or like them.
I got a couple of them. Just a few.
So do y'all teach the ladies that come in, that do come in, do y'all teach them more than just like the tactical? Do y'all teach them, can they cook? Can they,
Everybody cooks.
I mean, they woman in the house, they keeping the house
You got
clean.
some men that
No, so listen,
Cooks.
it really isn't like that. Like the ladies don't do the cooking and the cleaning. Like
we do.
the men do that. Like we check their energy. We check their energy at the door. We make sure they're grounded. We make sure that they're spiritually well, that they're on their toes, that their heads are always on swivel. Like we don't do the cooking and the cleaning. I'm not doing that.
I like that.
Dead serious. We had an event and we was out back in the back washing dishes and they was out in the front with guns.
I like that.
Oh, they on duty. Okay, that's good.
They don't play.
I think a lot of people forget when you talk about nature and law. I'm a big historian, but a big like I observe a lot. And when you pay attention to the Lion Kingdom, right? A lot of people understand that. Who's on the front lines in the Lion King?
Pride.
The pride, the lions. Who protects and understands what the hell is moving? Who's not supposed to be around? Who's shaking? It's the lions. They're the women, and they're and then when they need that king, he's supposed to do what you do, or you gotta go. See, a lot of people gotta make it past. So if you ever watch if you ever pay attention, you study lions and you study how everything moves. When you can go all the way down to whales and dolphins, you can go all the way down to chickens. you can see how the women were always the ones that had a pulse on their family, their house, what was going on, and their kids. So when you look at the chapter, when I heard you say that just now, that may offend some people, but if you understand the circle of life and where you're supposed to be, then you would understand what the hell you called to do.
Their line is
That's
like
their
dominance,
structure.
you know what I'm saying?
That's a part of their structure.
But I'm glad you asked that because a lot of people would think like the women probably would be cooking and cleaning, but even with the elders, the guys were actually in the kitchen cooking. The women was on the front line. You know
Y'all
what I
seen
mean?
Fred Hampton on
Fred
that
Hampton?
movie?
Yeah,
Y'all see what he was
Oh,
doing?
so that's your sister in
She
arms.
said you got a
And
little-
you gonna do push-ups and she gonna count them out.
Rouse around, you got anything for him? So you good, baby?
I'm just
You got
checking.
anything for him?
Yeah.
You got anything for him?
So,
We up in the air,
so
we
how
up in
many?
the
How
air.
many? So, as far as weapons, wise, how many different weapons do you guys train?
Everything from sticks, bats, knives, scissors, hand to hand.
Bazookas and missiles?
Man, if I can get my hand on one, woo, coming straight to you, and we gonna go shoot something.
You got that condition, man? You need one.
You got that?
You got no people, no people.
Those are
You got no
legal,
people,
though.
no
Those are
people.
legal.
I
The
need-
M2
I
grenade
need
launchers on the
grenade.
bottom of the AR-15 are legal. But we train with a lot from AKs to SKs to rifles to shotguns. We make sure that the semantic that they gotta, especially the sisters, like they gotta be able to maneuver and handle any weapon that might be thrown to them. The worst thing I can tell somebody right now is that I'm big on, like I said, the firearm business, period. So I can't run with nobody who don't have a belt and have magazines and stuff. You got magazines inside your pocket, or you get in this wartime and you're like, how do I load this?
Come on.
What's going on with this? You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
A lot of people get firearms and they sit inside of their drawers or house or basements and they don't know what to do with them. You know what I mean? And that is a stigma too, because we are in races as Portland, Oregon, and everything is controlled by a white person firearm or the range or whatever. So a lot of us are kind of scared to go. Then when we got to go way the hell out, we ain't supposed to be an SK. I remember our first time a bro took me, I was like, woo, you show me cool. You show me cool.
The same way I felt when I
We
was
got out
Show me cool.
Where you at?
We got out there, and then
I mean, that was
our
how I do it.
man Pete pulled up, gave a thing full of guns.
You're live on the set of Cannabis Cocktails Conversations, baby.
Talk to me.
Hey!
trying to hydrate, man. Hey, shout out to the Hydro boys.
Shout out to the Hydro boys. You know what's here, man. You know us, man. Here we medicate, we libate, we conversate, we hydrate. Viewers, go hydrate.
Put that water emoji, man. That liquid is something, man. You gotta
Open farm! What's up, baby? Tap into it. Reaching out to you.
Shout out to Cool Nights, man. Shout out to Cool Nights.
Shout out to Kudos, man. Channel's based in the
My
music
guy,
in the
man. That's the
streets,
guy,
man.
guy. Legend.
So what motivates y'all to keep going with this?
The people, man. It's the people. You know what I mean? That's one thing why I kind of wanted to touch on, and why I had my comrade. She asked me, was he going to be in BDU? Usually could be always, and I should be in BDUs, but I want to change the narrative of what's going on and want everybody to kind of understand how the dynamics of our party work. These are battle dress uniforms. These are BDUs. This is a mandate uniform and the regular uniform of everybody that's inside the party. If you remember the party's uniform back in the elder days, it was actually black leather jackets with a blue collared shirt. That was the uniform, you know what I mean? So when we have a uniform now, because we are a paramilitary unit and not more say of what the political unit was back with the elders. So just like Fred Hampton believed, man, in the Black Rider Liberation Party or in the Black Panther Party, we believe that it's all power to the people, all power to all people. You know what I mean? And it's the people that keeps us motivated. The relationship between the comrades is secondary. The relationship between the people in the party is primary. You know what I mean? So everything we do is because we want to make sure that the people are taken care of. So when I have the Marathon Tactical, it's so my people still, even though it's not a part of the party, it's just my business. I still evolve my business around my codes of conduct, my rules of discipline. Everything that I do, that's my Bible. That's where I live by. That's where I go by. So I bring it to my business. My business now is helping my people. I got so many people, my people now educated and woke up to gun stuff, feeling more safe and more secure about gun stuff because of what I did in the party. So I want her to be a representation of the party, which you did a very good job of, comrade. And then I have a tactical business. We also have a security business. Most of everybody inside the party has a LLC. Like you can't really, we won't say that you can't, but we push you to have a business because revolution starts at home. One of the things that our elders did not have right is that they pushed too much for the people and they didn't take care of home. Chairman Fred, God bless his soul, he was more about people than his own personal self. You know what I mean? And most of our leaders died broke. Malcolm X died broke. Martin Luther King died broke. You know what I mean? Because they were so much for the people and the people were feeding them. They didn't take care and start businesses and LLCs and something that can pass down generational wealth to where when I'm gone, my kids can cash a check. They can keep my movement moving with just the business side.
That's
of
what
I
we
create.
start doing, the create things for our kids.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, because we're kind of wrapping up a little bit. What is one experience in life that without it, you would not be who you are today? That's for both of you guys. What is one experience in life that without it, you would not be who you are today? Whoever go first, you can touch on the first if you want to, madam, or you can back up and touch on it.
Being released out of Coffee Creek. I mean,
Like,
how do you ever get detained and be locked away in a cage and not ever be the same?
Yeah.
Being incarcerated definitely changed my life for the better. I think I went on a soul searching journey for 48 months out of my 60, and I stepped out with my mind and not like adding time and things like that. And I stepped out knowing what direction in life I wanted to go. And it was probably, I say, a year and a half after I got out that I got my first pamphlet from shout out to my aunt on the Black Writers Liberation Party. And I knew right then, because being a Panther and Pantherism is in my blood. Both my grandparents were Black Panthers back in the 60s. So it was destiny for me, but definitely being incarcerated, programming myself and releasing and building myself up is one thing that got me to where I am today.
for me, mine was my children, period. That's an easy call. You know what I mean? My brother been around since, and my cousin over there been around since, before I got into this. So they knew who I was and what I was doing before this, you know what I mean? So I was shot at 16. I wasn't doing none of this type of stuff. I wasn't involved in this. And my kids, shout out to my boys. I love y'all, Three Kings. Love y'all, Cayman, Kai, Chris.
Shout my son, my daughter.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I got it. I love that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So what changed my life was that, and I'm glad to hear my brothers and people speak up who are parents and stuff. And that right there changed my life. And I had something more to live for, something bigger than myself. Then from there, it became, oh shit, I gotta care about my people. Because I think a lot of that particular time was a lot of self-hate. I didn't care whether I lived or died. If I figured that was part of my destiny. You know what I'm saying? You got kids making wheels at 18 years old and talking about I'm a big homie at 21. If you a big homie at 21, you would probably expect to be gone before 30.
Yeah. Man.
You're live on 7 Cannabis Cocktails Conversations.
I do got a question though. I heard y'all say something about like the code of conduct, and I do be, I'm a firm believer of like the Black Panther movement, but it's I didn't really watch the Fred Hampton movie, but I did watch the documentary, the old stuff, and the way the people, the way they explain it, and I know half of it ain't true, but when we talk about like code of conduct, why is it every time one of our Mongols get killed, it's almost one of our own setting them up to do it, and then they the ones living to tell the story, and we still sitting up here saying, "R.I.P. this man." What part of the code of conduct is it to? You feel me? Hey, what part of the code of conduct is it to get that man out the way? You feel me? Because at some point he got this man out the way. He ain't doing nothing but preaching to the people to protect themselves. But you allow him to lower his guard down, and you the reason why he get taken out. But it's not just Fred Hampton, but it's multiple people. So what part of the code of conduct do we have? I know it's like don't get revenge thing, but we talk. You feel me? So what part of the code of conduct?
2 minutes. All right, so let me give you this. The reason why our leaders get taken out is because we have to understand as a people who we are. You know what I mean? We have to understand the people and everybody know I kind of went against the Bible in the beginning stages and stuff, but that's because I'm an avid learner. I can go through contradictions and help myself account.
Like that's deep.
But we are, as people in the Bible, if you look at it as a history book, we are people underneath generational curses. Why are we underneath these curses? Because we broke God's covenant. You know what I mean? It's Hebrew Israelites, people who migrated from Israel, went to Egypt. And we know that Egypt had slaves, but we never asked who those slaves was. Those people were Israelites, moved over to West Africa. I'm a West African. You show up today, and this come over here till I get a gun, and the Africans and your people got to go. Who the hell? My son, my daughter ain't going. You new nigga, you going. So that's who the Israelites that said the last form of slavery would be on the ship. That was the last form of slavery. We still over here trying to fight each other, trying to figure out how to get this boot off our neck, but we're not looking at who we are as a people and what we need to be doing as the people, as God chosen people to be right. And any time and when that is not taken accountability, you're going to have snakes that's going to get in. You know what I'm saying? Our code of conduct is only for our Black Rider chapter. New Black Panther Party has their code of conduct. They're all kind of the same, but some things just might be different. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, when it was thousands of Black Panthers, I want y'all to know, everybody know this, 1 out of every 4 Black Panther was an informant. 1 out of every 4.
Talk about it.
1 out of every 4. So that means that even if William O'Neal made it to the highest of being Fred Hampton's right-hand man, you still had him over here taking notes of the meeting, passing it to somebody else. Him over here taking notes of the meeting, passing it to somebody else. And they said, the feds told me, what it took for us to get in 1 year, we got off, like 2 days off the internet. So now you got people who are on the internet deliberately trying to fight cases, and people are so wild out now because they're not following the Most High covenant to where they can't even reel themselves back in. And they're easy for me to go do some dirt. And it's easy for me to send you up to Shit Creek, send my brother up to Shit Creek, because I don't even have no value in myself.
I ain't got to deal with you no more.
I ain't got to deal with you no more. I don't even want to deal with my damn self. William O'Neal killed himself after he told on Fred Hampton and he did his interview. He committed suicide. The same day he did an interview, he killed himself. Good job.
That's a deep question, man. That's a good
That was
question.
real deep. That was real question.
He answered a lot of questions because I didn't think I was gonna have time, but he answered the question.
Yeah.
I asked about
we're not getting off.
spiritual
You
belief.
feel me? And I don't disagree with that, though. And I don't disagree with that. You know, I'm a firm believer of my
the
people.
swamp got to be drained sometime, and unfortunately, it'd be too late, and our people got to martyr out so we can become better. So because of Fred Hampton, we have a higher security reason.
I agree with the whole being under the curse, man. So we, align ourselves back up right. I agree with that.
You can't explain why we ain't made it ahead in America.
Because
We got all the resources and smart. We invented everything, but
fight each other.
He said there can be no black-white unity if there's not first no black unity.
So
That's what he said.
That's deep.
That's what Malcolm said.
We gotta just worry about black unity and quit worrying about
Yeah,
And
that's a big one. That's a big one, man.
Stop worrying about
Because it started with us first.
If the whole thing is we under the curse for us not doing something, we need to quit focusing on and blaming the white man, the Chinese man, the Asian man.
That's it.
Because we need to focus on us doing what we supposed to do.
Stop comparing
So that
ourselves
we
to
can get
anybody.
back
We're
into that
comparable.
state,
man.
baby.
yeah.
And,
We're
I'm trying to
comparable.
be here when it happens, so
Because we still natural good people. So I mean, if we get ourselves together, it's not to say that's the fear. We get ourselves together, we're gonna turn slavery. We could have been did that.
Right.
So as long as we get ourselves together, we're not gonna turn the tables on nobody. We just want our stuff. We just be cool.
back in our position.
That's it.
What he said, we cannot think of being accepted to others until we have first proven acceptability of ourselves.
And
We
only a
cannot
fool will let
unite
you keep the truth.
unless we unite with ourselves. We cannot unite the Bahamas with Scotland lives.
You're allowed to say Cannabis Cocktails Conversations. Viewers, yes, we are going to run over a little. This conversation is deep. It's
I don't
genuine.
care what the guests.
This is
Y'all
Cannabis
five,
Cocktails
y'all
Conversation.
five,
I'm
10
good.
more minutes. Y'all
You might keep going for a little bit,
Good.
man. This get warm. This get
Y'all
real.
wanna
But thank
stay
you,
on,
viewers.
stay on.
Thank you, GMP Podcast Group. Thank you, Thorn City Syndicate. We appreciate y'all. Also, Fresh. Thank you. We appreciate y'all. JP Visuals. Thank you. Appreciate you. LL. We appreciate you. Suavecito. Thank you. Appreciate you. Zach. Appreciate you a lot. D Smooth. Poor forgetting. Joe. Appreciate you, man. Keep hustling. So what? Samurai Sam, take care of school, baby. Appreciate you. Better pass that class. Viewers, we will run over. We will. Keep hustling. So what?
Just a little bit.
Keep
Just a little
hustling.
bit.
So what?
Just a little bit.
You were comments, yes, possible.
So do you think? Do you think we?
Go ahead. You can look on there and answer something. Hey, my man said it's potty. This shit is real.
What's up, viewers?
Hey! He did like John. He did like you, brother. He said, "You see that TV?"
So do you think they should be getting rid of the people like he was talking about? Do you think? I mean, just what do you?
Why did the March get to live to tell their story?
So hold on.
Yeah.
Let me just
Every
say something.
I'm just scared.
So when it came to like the infiltrating and everything, like part of that and part of the reason why it was 1 and 4 Panthers were infiltrating the Black Panther Party is because the feds and the police were going after people who were committing petty crimes and getting caught. So they were holding their crimes against them. So not necessarily we was in it just to do it. Like people were being held against their will. You know what I'm saying? Families and things like
Yeah,
that.
not doing
They
Not
want
to
to do
make
the time.
excuses
though.
for
But it's the
nobody.
same.
Petty
It's the
crimes.
same old trick, though. It's
It
the same.
is,
Petty crimes
but
back then
that's
held
what
some
it
weight.
is.
Yeah,
Petty
That's a
crimes
big
back
one,
then
too.
held some
yeah,
weight.
that,
Yeah,
that's
but
a big one.
if you
Yeah.
don't commit the crime,
Niggas was
some stuff
stupid. They were
that
still
petty
doing
crimes,
stupid
man,
shit.
was
They were still
ferocious,
doing
man.
stupid shit. Nobody want to go sit down for a day still.
At
At
all.
all.
Everybody.
They don't want to do it at all.
Right,
man.
right.
You don't talk about gang, all this
man.
gang stuff. As soon as you get knocked, you gonna tell them the whole damn gang.
Tell everybody.
You know, it's legal. It's legal for someone. I don't care if it can be federal officers, police officers, whatever it is. It's legal for you guys. Like I said, if they commit a crime, you can follow them like they follow you. You take the pictures of them.
Yeah, but you have to know. But you have to know how long you can follow them. You can't follow them past the
There is
line.
no jurisdiction.
There is a jurisdiction.
You can turn left
You can't
for
follow-
3 steps, and then start. It's a whole new
'cause it's a
thing.
mile.
It's a
That-
whole.
but you-
Listen, yeah, it's a mile. Listen, if you turn left or anywhere and take 3 steps, your mile cuts off. You reroute yourself. Now you come back, you can keep going. You gotta know how to do it. Away from everything, baby.
You gotta hire fast.
You play around everything, baby. You gotta know the move, baby. You gotta know the move, baby.
Open up a detective service.
You gotta know the move. I'm just saying, man. Listen, you gotta think.
It's a real show, though, man.
For
It's
someone to
not
sit
about-
here and put their time to following you, taking pictures of you, smoking cigarettes, a whole packet of motherfuckers, and taking pictures and waiting, now doing it. Hey man, it's irritating. That's harassment. But to them, they building a case.
I think the
Yeah.
same way.
I think for me, I'm building a case.
It's the same damn thing.
I'm building a case.
I'm building a case. They did a movie about that.
Following me.
I do the same thing, man. If I get in trouble somewhere, man, well, how would you like if we did that about you? So everybody that got dirt on you, and I hate that when black folks do something, they want to talk about what they did in their past.
Huh.
So I'm always like, and I'm first.
For years.
Whoever got dirt on this dude, why don't y'all tell on him too?
Right.
Because there's enough time to go around for all of us.
Right.
So since you're gonna bury the black man, bury the other man the same way.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's sometimes it's your own bearing your own. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, it
But
hurts.
when it get like that, you don't really know when you're in that situation because everything can look like it's going good. They didn't just come in the first time and just crack them. No, they getting information, so they charted it down for some time. They knew when to infiltrate it, when to come in. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I say.
stand for that.
It's like I said.
Millions of dollars training to do that, man.
That's why everything it's a process to get in. You know, people don't just. You know, they don't just let you just come in, man. You got to show that you with the, you know what I'm saying, with the movement.
And that's the problem that the elders had. It was so many people trying to get in because it wasn't nothing to do. Our people were still in poverty. There wasn't no jobs. So they were having, easily in my house right now, if you was back in the 60s, that house can be filled up with like 30 people. You see Fred Hampton had people sleeping on the couch, on the floor, on the bed, on the mattress and stuff like that. Now what happened is our people were poor. Our people were disenfranchised and they were still trying to fight to just work at a juke joint, and it was like that type of shit, right? We got caught into wage slavery. There is a such thing called wage slavery.
Yes,
So now
it is.
because I'm working, you know, I have people people. That's the problem. People don't hold themselves to the same standards that they want to hold others to.
Yeah,
So every time
absolutely.
something pop off, it's where the Panthers at, and I can have a man tell me where the Panthers at, what you doing, and I ask you the same question, oh man, I'm a dad. I'm sitting at home with my kids.
Come on.
Well, why you holding me to a same standard that you can't hold yourself to as a black man if it's our people under attack? That lets me know what kind of mentality that I'll be dealing
Well,
with
they
if
don't
I have to
support y'all
deal
in
with you.
no way.
Yeah.
No support, no nothing.
Fund it,
But our people will still hold us to accountability. They don't even hold themselves to.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it's an upward battle, but you know, you just don't let that stop you. You know what I mean? So even back in the day, them petty crimes were always still like it could sit you down for 6 months for just being, you know, they wasn't paying by no rules. It wasn't like no 48 hours, they ain't got nothing on, let them go. They wasn't really doing that. You know what I mean?
It wasn't no structure in the neighborhood.
It wasn't no structure in the neighborhood.
Folks didn't know how to if you get arrested, they didn't know how to do this or that, or you know, make this phone call or
no
not.
phone,
It wasn't
cell
no
phone
structure.
coverage. It wasn't nobody to
It
tell.
was nothing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even with stalking, I learned because I had a stalking order from one of my crazy neighbors and shit. She put a stalker on me. I'm glad y'all, my brothers, follow me. They followed me through that. I'm like, damn, I don't even know this woman, but she put a stalking order on me, and I had to literally sit through a court case. I sit through court cases. That's how I learned about Terry versus Ohio. As I sit on somebody else's court case. I'm the type of person that we don't really like courts and all this stuff, but I'll go sit there and I learn something. So I picked up Terry versus Ohio by sitting in a court case. That wasn't even for me. You know what I mean? So when they got hit with all these laws and all this other stuff, like we gotta understand that these were playing no games. They wasn't doing anything by any kind of rule book, and we didn't have any structure because we were just trying to live. You know what I mean? So it was always just a catch
That's why they
22.
took educations out the pen.
Mhm.
Too many brothers started doing the law books, and when you sit down, I got 8 years, and I read the same law books. The same law books at Yale, the same ones that's at Harvard.
Now
And that's how you argue the structure of how you believe my opinion versus your opinion. And that's why they took educations out the penitentiary, because too many people was getting out with law degrees. You was getting free degrees while you was in
3
there.
degrees.
So when I came out, I know how to beat you now. Right? So right now, if you have a felony in Oregon, a judge can expunge that still, but it's 51 to 49. They can still say no when you go apply for a job. It's a 51 to 49 vote.
Well, that's why we saying get your own LLC, your own business.
Unless you know how to hide that
LLCs, keys and LLCs.
Unless you know how to hide that felony
felony.
from them jobs.
Yeah.
But
And that's the thing
another
about
story.
jobs too, is that they don't have to abide by. When I learned about doing the DPSST stuff, like you don't have to. The job is a security. That's just a security blanket. They can hire a felon if they want to.
Yeah.
They can absolutely hire a felon. But I mean, if you are a felon that in drugs and in stealing and stuff like that, if I hire you, then I'm responsible for you. They don't want to be responsible for people. You know what I mean? But we got to also look who we're putting in the felonies. Like I said, a lot more people are walking the streets with pleas than it is actually in prison. The feds told me to my face, all they wanted to give me was like, take a plea. We don't really want to give you no jail time. We just don't want you around guns. They told me that to my face. My wife thought I was crazy because I was excited to sit in front of them. Like, nigga, you're a Black Panther. What's wrong with you? Why do you want to sit in front of them? Because I play mental games too. What you spent millions of dollars on him for, I'm going to sit in front of him and I'm going to pick his brain too. And I led that whole conversation. My attorney told me, I don't want to do this because usually this leads wrong. You're going to say fuck them, they're going to say fuck you, and they're going to hit your ass for like 5 years. I'm trying to get you nothing. But I sit there and I gamed them up. You know what I mean? Like the same kind of mental games and y'all being critical thinkers. I led that whole room, had one police officer saying, you're such a good guy. I had my attorney talking about Mount St. Helens erupting. Ooh. How you talking about guns and I got you talking about Mount St. Helens erupting? I looked at the federal guy.
in China.
Yeah, I looked at the federal guy. He looked like, shut up, y'all. Get back to order. You know, but yeah, man.
You hear a lot of Cannabis Cocktails conversation.
That's that 10
You want to run a little more?
Yeah, that's 2 minutes.
I asked y'all for 10, man. So, we try to keep it professional, man. I don't want to hold y'all over unless y'all give me the okay, you know. But otherwise, we gonna.
I ain't got to be to work till 9:45. I'm going straight to work from here.
Oh, he said straight from here.
Man, listen, man, I put in 20-hour shifts, man. You gonna own 3 LLCs and a family business, and you working for another security business yourself. Listen, bro, you gotta put in this work around here, man. We talking about keys and LLCs.
So what?
So what?
Hustling.
You know what?
So
Hey,
what?
yeah, my man said he ain't gotta be at work till 9:45.
So what?
Hey, we about to wrap it up, man. Y'all gonna have to pay for what we about to talk about for a couple more minutes
that's
after
what I'm
this, man.
Right.
I'm gonna take us out first. You got for us.
Hey, man, you know how we do it, man. Cool nuts, manifesting, man. Hey, everybody continue to manifest your dreams. Continue to go after what you believe, man, and make it happen. We riding out, man. I'm your guy
So
first.
we didn't even give up.
Cannabis
We didn't even
Cocktails
give up.
Conversations. Shout
Thank
out
you,
to
viewers. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Thank you,
Appreciate y'all.
viewers. Thank you.
Mikey Vegas,
I
Live
gotta
Boy
take this
Mo.
out. You right, we said Cannabis
Right
Cocktails
now.
Conversations.
So deep. Say your big word.
While we right now, I'm gonna give y'all a big money tip. Disclaimer, you know I'm not a financial advisor. Seek your own financial advisor, all right? Hey, but the big money tip for tonight, invest in cryptocurrency. Because you know the value of the dollar is falling. You want to have something to back up on. The government want to get that digital currency. Everything is talking about Bitcoin is cryptocurrency. Invest in cryptocurrency. Ask your financial advisor what coin should invest in. Don't ask me. Thank me for the information. Thank you, that's the big money tip for tonight. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Next week.
Shaking all you silly fucks. Celebrating, popping bottles with a Billy tuck. It's fucked up when a nigga know it's life. And down like we living in our last days. Chicken nigga made it through a crime wave.
Young Cleveland appreciate you wasn't as bad as you thought it was. She put a smalls out.